I'm Annabelle, and I'm one of the product designers at GitLab. I'm on the plan stage, which is the stage that focuses on features like the issue tracker, portfolio management features, integration with external trackers, markdown rendering, and email notifications. In this video, I'm going to be walking through my assigned job to be done, which is based on understanding dependencies within a GitLab epic. So understanding how issues and sub-epics relate to any given parent epic. Just to give you a breakdown of how this is set up, my official job to be done, it's pretty long, so I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it needs to be in a certain format. So when creating a task C, within a larger list of tasks that need to be completed to deliver a feature, I want to identify and document the dependencies for task C so that I can prioritize task C appropriately, help the assignee of task C understand, and make sure they know where their work falls in the larger scope of the project or feature. For each stage, I've already gotten them all here in screenshots. There is an emotional grade, and that can be, it can be positive, neutral, or negative. And then at the very end, there's a grading rubric for the entire flow, and that's A through F, kind of what you'd expect. F is not good. So I think that's all we've got here. So I'm just going to jump right into the flow. I'm going to use an epic that we already have existing on GitLab.com. Instead of creating a brand new issue, I'm just going to attach one that we already have because I don't want to create issues that we don't need. So let's see, I'm going to just pull this out of here so I don't have to keep flipping back. Okay, for step one, I want to view my epic and attach to issues. And for this, I'm kind of going to be using the persona of a product owner or a project manager. So for my step one, it would be I navigate to the epic my team has been working on. Here's the epic my team has been working on. The emotional grade is positive. This is what I wanted to see. I see all the issues that comprise this epic. I can see all my sidebar metadata, the ancestors, where I can see where this epic lies in the grander scheme of things. And I see who's assigned to things, what the milestones are for these issues, and which ones are closed. I also really like the fact that I can choose the order here. So in this case, it looks like new issues have been added to the top. I prefer that they were elsewhere, so I'm going to move them below the already scheduled items so that I can prioritize the things that are already scheduled and look into figuring out where these are going to fit in later. So emotional grade is positive there. Second step is creating a new issue. My team has we've noticed that an issue has come up and we need to add it as a part of this epic. So I would typically click, if I want to add an issue, I would click this plus link. This is a pattern that we have kind of all over GitLab. You can add new items from this button, so I would assume that I could do the same here. It says paste issue link, and I don't have an issue link because I haven't created the issue yet. So the emotional grade is negative. It's a little frustrating, so I don't really know where to go from here. My next assumption would be this plus button. I've created issues from here before, but I can't. I'm assuming it's because I'm on the group stage. Well, I know it's because it's on the group stage, but that's not immediately obvious. So the next thing I would try to do is go to issues. And that was another negative emotional grade, if you couldn't tell. So let's see if I can create an issue from here. And I can. New issue in GitLab Enterprise Edition. So this was set up, luckily for me, to already be on Enterprise Edition, but a lot of the time I work in Community Edition, so this would be an added step. If I wanted to add it to Community Edition, I'd have to do that and then click New. So in this case, it was already set up, lucky for me. So I will click that, New Issue, GitLab Enterprise Edition, and I'm finally where I wanted to be in the first place. I'm in Enterprise Edition within GitLab org on the New Issue form. So it was kind of negative getting here, and now my emotional grade is just kind of neutral. This is what I expected to see when I got to the New Issue page. I can fill out my issue title, to move closed issues to bottom of tree. I can fill out my description, assignee, milestone labels, everything that I've come to expect from the issue form. I'm not going to submit this because this issue already exists, so pretend that I did, and this is the result. Here's my issue. It's got everything that I expected to see, so again, neutral. It's not blowing me away with any unexpected positive surprises, but it's good. So now I want to attach this issue to my epic, which is what I wanted to do in the first place. Feel free to ignore this because I've been messing around with this a lot. All these system notes won't be here. But anyway, going to add this to my epic, I would go to the sidebar because this is where I add metadata. There's no edit button here, which is another negative emotional grade. This is what I've come to expect. I can edit anything else here, and I can add assignees, I can add milestones, everything has an edit button basically, except for Epic. So I do remember that I had to paste in the issue link. Unfortunately, I didn't keep the tab open because I didn't realize that I would get stuck again. So now I need to go back and search for my epic. Epics are at the group level. Glad these breadcrumbs are here. So now I have to go back here, back to epics, and just hope that you remember the name of it. It was epic relationships. View epic relationships in epics. That is the one. Okay, so now we're back where we started, getting frustrated again. Kind of see a common theme here. But now when I click issues and it says paste my issue link, I'm prepared. Yay! I'll copy this, put it in, and add it. Okay, that worked. Emotional grade is neutral on that, not because I think it's a super interaction, but it's what I expected because I finally did it the way it told me to. It's right at the top, kind of like what I expected to. I wouldn't want it to be at the bottom in case it got lost. So here it is. Just like the issues I moved earlier, I don't want this to be at the top because it's not scheduled yet, and I don't want to prioritize it until we've, gone through the UX and made sure that the developers are aware of it and we have everything sorted out with a milestone. So I'm going to add it to the bottom of the open issues for now, and then I can check back later and do some more stuff. So that's good. That's a positive. Again, I really like that I can drag these into the order I want. Step 4, I didn't mention step 2 and 3, but the second one was attaching issue to Epic, and the third was reordering them, which I just did. So step 4, establishing a hierarchy and dependencies. If I go back to my issue, add option, I can see now that the epic is in the sidebar, which is expected. Still no edit button, so I can't change it. I'm not really sure how to go about changing it, but I know this is expected. I'm assuming this will take me to the epic, which it does, and all these other issues should also have the same epic right here. That's a neutral reaction as I was expecting it. Part of this job to be done was understanding dependencies and how they relate to each other. This one's a little tricky because we don't have blocking issues in it, or anything that sort of says this needs to come first, or this issue can't be done without this other issue. So as a workaround, we have a couple things to do. There's the ordering I just put things in. This could signify to a team that things need to be worked on in this exact order. That doesn't really work because these are different types of issues. Like this is UX research, it's assigned to a researcher, it doesn't need to be done before some of these other things. But we've got UXers, front end and back end assigned to other things. So there is that if you want to use it that way. Another sort of workaround is this related issues widget. You can add, maybe if it's blocked by, maybe if this is a front end issue and it's blocked by the back end needing to be implemented first, you could add the back end issue as a related issue, and you would know they're related, but they're not necessarily blocked, and there's no way to enforce the ordering here. So that's something that could be changed. But I did know this wasn't a feature available on GitLab. And let's see. That's kind of it actually for the job to be done here. For helping the assignee understand how things work in the grander scheme of things, there's always the Epic page which shows exactly who's assigned to what, and anyone can look at this. It's just kind of hard to find, which is the biggest reason that Epics in general have a not great emotional score. In fact, most of them were negative, just based on how much work it took to get to this stage and how difficult they are to find. So if we go back to my grading rubric, which I'll pull over here, I gave this entire experience a C, which is average. The workflow needs improvement, but user can still finish completing the task. It usually takes longer to complete the task than it should. User may abandon the process or try again later. Frustration level is medium. I would say it was medium to high in some cases. Task completion, successful, but with unnecessary steps. I think everyone can agree there that there were quite a few steps to just attach an issue. And steps to complete task were average complexity. They definitely weren't too complex, but they were just numerous, which is never a good thing. So that is it for the entire experience of understanding dependencies within a feature or an epic. In the future, we'll add some recommendations here and hopefully schedule some issues to fix these things. So be on the lookout for that. Thanks for watching.